Except for the what kind? A win welcome. We back at it, people. This is the Funnyness podcast. The only one around about something and nothing at the same time. On my right here is Jason van der Merwe. And on my left is a young lady who just went to a random person's house and ended up on the podcast. Kate, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's some daunting stuff you into, man.
I know. I realized as I was on the way here, I should probably share my live location with someone.
Did you?
Yes. I've been a woman for like 28 years. So yeah, I did.
That must be scary, man, being a woman. Now that I'm just thinking about it.
It is. I suddenly realized today I'm like about to go to like a random dude's house with a bunch of dudes I don't know.
Because as a man, genuinely, going to strange places is what we do.
Yeah.
No, and we don't have the fear.
Yeah, totally.
And women genuinely do.
And if you're in comedy, you have to just kind of get over that. Because you have to just go gig wherever the gig is.
Yes.
And just like hope for the best.
But is it a challenge for you going to different places?
Yeah, I mean, like, I have to check where the parking is and shit. I literally have to check so that I don't have to park, like, 2 blocks away. And then I have to decide, like, which comedian is the safest comedian to walk me to my car to protect me from all the other men. Yeah, so it is. It's weird. But, I mean, you get used to it. It's just I haven't done it because of lockdown. So I'm, like, getting back into it again. And I'd forgotten about all these things that go into doing comedy that aren't like about the comedy.
So you are from Cape Town?
I'm from Cape Town, yes.
And what brings you to Johannesburg? Like, what are you doing around here?
I'm here for work. I'm working on something. I'm writing something with a friend of mine. And we've been working remotely. And it's been like, trying to write together over Zoom is not the best.
I can imagine there's a disconnect, you know.
Yeah, so at some point I just needed to come up here, and I got like, I'm freelancing, so this was like a good month.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I better go now before I fucking spend this money on some other shit.
Before I eat the money.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
I don't know. I hate counting 2020 because I'm like, that's bullshit.
For some of us, it means a lot that 2020, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Since the end of like 2016, so almost 5 years now.
Yeah. What does it mean to you, man? Like, why do you do it? What brought you into it?
Sure, I was an actor and I just wasn't getting any work. So
next best thing.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get on stage somehow.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I hadn't always wanted to be a comic, but a lot of people had told me I should try it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I want to be a stand-up. I don't even like stand-up comedy. I like didn't watch stand-up until I did stand-up.
Yeah.
I'm not like one of those people who grew up like hoping to be a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
And then, I like fell in love with it. It's the best thing ever.
It is. I have a similar story. I don't know. This is a young guy. I saw him when he did his first time, right? And he hasn't looked back ever since.
Try not to. Yes, it was terrible.
But it's something, I've never done anything like it. You know? And I wanted to do it for a while. And I was just too scared. When I eventually, like, lockdown said, listen here, do this thing. When I first did it, like, I was hooked completely.
Yeah, it's addictive. It's like a high.
Yeah. So other than comedy, what do you do? Like,
sure. So I freelance. I'm a writer. I'm a teacher. So I do some like teaching here and there. I substitute teach. Sorry, this is buzzing. But it's like obese. Don't even worry. I substitute teach. I'm working for a production company as well, trying to like learn stuff about film production and get into that. So I don't know. I always have like 5 jobs at a time because like that's what you have to have.
Just to survive.
Yeah.
In South Africa.
I mean, what do you guys do?
Personally, I'm also a jack of all.
You gotta be.
You jack off, what? Dakes, relax, bro.
This is not that kind of show.
This is a clean show sponsored by Thirsty Water.
Get us
now in sparkling.
No, man, I'm a mechanic.
Okay, cool.
I talk a lot of nonsense on stage about what I do.
Awesome.
It gives me, like, I think comedy has saved my... I started hating working on cars, but now that's all right.
Yeah, comedy makes the work you do better because you're like, oh, I can talk about this on comedy and it'll be fine.
Anything you
therapy.
go through for that.
Yeah.
It's free therapy.
Yeah, it is.
That's if it's going well. If it's not going well,
It's like a bad
you're
motivational
gonna
speech.
need real therapy.
Yeah. It's true.
How do you deal with something like that? Like just getting back up
Just
after.
like bumming. I mean, I think you just got to get back up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because the longer you leave it, the worse it seems.
Yeah. Have you
Like-
ever quit? Like, have you said, I'm done with
I
comedy?
did quit actually like a couple months in. I was like, I can't do this. This is just like, there's too much. I don't know. I was getting too anxious. I was like, I can't be this anxious every single time I do this. And then I realized I have to just gig every day.
yeah.
And then that fear will go away because then like the individual gig doesn't matter so much because
Yes.
I had one yesterday. I'm going to have one tomorrow. This is just one of them. It's not like my only gig of the week, which is now what it's like. So now it feels like I get nervous, like I'm starting again every single time.
Yeah.
I feel like a baby comic.
Speaking of like how anxious you get before shows, is it something that you find you can use to your advantage? Because I know, like, for me personally, like the nerves, I don't know if it comes from a lifetime of playing like contact sport or something, but it like kind of gives you like a oh yeah, we're gonna do this.
Say
We're gonna.
rugby. Don't be scared to say rugby.
I'm scared to
Don't
say rugby.
contact. Rugby is not a profession. It's not
Yeah, it's okay.
Say
But you said
actual rugby.
Fundamava in the beginning, and now rugby. We're gonna give the guys the wrong idea at home.
It's to say you play rugby. Say, I play rugby.
No, it's ex-spiel rugby.
Oh my God.
Woo, rugby. You
But
can
anyway.
carry on. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Dylan. Anyway, but you find like for me personally, I find like the nerves almost help get you into the zone for like, it's gonna do this now.
Yeah, totally. I feel like if you're not nervous, there's something wrong with you. I mean, I always am nervous, even if I'm gigging every day. It's just not like that crazy level of like I'm gonna pass out and throw up. I'm so fucking nervous. But I feel like the adrenaline is so important because it like focuses you as well and like zones you in, and you like are like fully in your body, and you're like, I'm gonna do this. So yeah, I think it's important. I don't know. I don't understand comics who aren't nervous ever because I'm like, you should be nervous. This could go
I think
terribly.
maybe for some, you just like some performances. You just, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like,
Look, the more you
whatever
gig, I
it
guess,
is.
the
Yeah.
easier it gets to manage the nerves. But
Yeah.
most comics I've spoken to who've been doing it for like 10 years say it never really goes away. It just, it doesn't stress you out as much that you're nervous.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't think you're going to fuck up because you're nervous now. You're just like, oh, this is just how I feel when I do this thing.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're on stage,
you get
for me, as
settled.
soon as I'm on stage, I'm fine.
Yeah, it does happen. But I want to ask you, as a new comic, like, there's certain things other comics tell us, like, listen, if you're going to talk about things like this, you're going to need a lot of skill and, you know, tricks, they say. What other topics you don't talk about, or like in your comedy you're scared to talk about because of all the cancel culture going around, you know? Like other things you have to lean on because the other stuff is just...
I don't know. I mean, I think I've always talked about stuff that like people didn't really always respond to. I talk about sex on stage a lot, and early on when I was a young comic and less experienced, that was like a very risky thing to do, and it would either go really well or really, really badly.
Yeah.
So I think that's made me not that scared to talk about anything. But I also don't think I have opinions that... I mean, no, everyone has opinions that would get them cancelled. That's bullshit. No, you know what? It took me a long time to talk about race because I had a joke about race early on, and it just felt like, I was like, you know what, this is a thing I give a shit about, and I give a shit about talking about this in the right way, and so I want to wait until I feel like I'm more experienced and I have a better handle on like how the audience perceives me and how I'm writing, to talk about that kind of thing in a way that like does it justice, because I don't want to just be another comic talking about like white privilege, you know?
Okay.
I want to be like thinking about that. I mean, I am now another comic talking about white privilege, but you know, I wanted to do good jokes about it.
Okay.
I just
get
like the way you went white privilege.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's like,
You just threw some movements in there as well. So.
I mean, it's a classic. It's a classic white comic thing to do. Is to be like, white privilege, am I right?
Okay, we're not gonna point fingers. Just follow my eyes.
Point your damn fingers,
Follow my
Dalen.
eyes.
No, I'm not saying it's
I don't
bad.
know.
It just is a thing.
But I think generally everyone, that's what they first start talking about. How you are
Yeah.
perceived by anyone.
Totally.
And these are the experiences you bring onto the stage, like in your
Yeah.
like I'm not bothered. Like now where I am at, I don't really want to talk about serious things, and I'm just learning the craft.
I think that's a good strategy. I also think, like, in the beginning, you're trying to introduce yourself, not just to the audience, but also to yourself as a comedian. You're trying to figure out who you are and how your voice is. And so, for me, the best thing to do is to, like, talk about personal stuff.
Yeah.
Because then, firstly, it'll be original because it will
No
be
one is like
specific to you.
Yeah.
And secondly, it helps you, like, learn how to be honest on stage, which is, like, such a hard thing to do. You know?
Honesty is the best policy. I felt very differently, actually. I felt like it was actually a lot easier to be not honest per se in the sense of something as hectic as like your opinions that are going to get you cancelled, but like just in my life experiences, because like I'm very much of the opinion that this is an art form.
Yeah.
This is my art. This is how I interpret it. However you want to interpret, you interpret it like that. But you can't judge me on what I'm saying up here, because this is a performance, and I am a performer.
Yeah, I feel like you can.
No.
I feel like you can. I feel like the contract with the audience is like, I get to say what I want, and you get to respond how you want.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes. That's the deal, you know? I feel like I get to say what I want through a microphone, and you get to respond however you want.
That's what I'm saying. Did I lose you?
No, you didn't lose me.
I feel like it's okay if they judge you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is they can judge what you're saying, but they can't judge you on what you're saying, if that makes sense. Because imagine it's a painting. I'm gonna use an example now.
Yes,
I'm gonna use an example now. Okay.
Let's do an analogy.
Did you ever hear of a guy named Jackson Pollock?
No.
Yes.
Sean Pollock's brother.
No, unfortunately not.
That's the only Pollock I know.
Jackson Pollock painted a piece. He did this weird bullshit abstract art. He just kind of threw paint on the canvas and said, "Here."
This is art.
Anyway, so Jackson Pollock did a painting. It was a black piece of canvas, painted it black, and there were 2 red dots on it. Okay? And an art critic came up to it, and he said, I think this is a self-portrait of Jackson. 2 red dots on a black canvas. I think this is a self-portrait, because the red dots are present Pollock, and the rest is the chaotic world around him.
Yeah.
Showing how he stands out from the crowd, how different he is to everything happening around him.
Okay.
And this got published, and at the same art expo, Jackson Pollock then came, and they said, Jackson Pollock, a lot of people have been saying this looks like a self-portrait.
Yeah.
And he said, what? And he looked at the painting, and he looked at them, and he looked at the painting, and he looked at them, and he said, shit, I must have messed the red paint on her when I was painting that one.
So he didn't even mean
He didn't even mean to do it.
Yeah.
But now they're putting how they think he wants them to see it.
Yeah. But,
You see what I'm saying?
But was this guy a big thing of sorts? Like, was he a big artist?
He was quite a big artist, yeah.
But okay. What I'm getting at is like you can get away with saying a lot more, like who you are.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to like I don't want to say things now. Like I don't want they say he said so about this thing. I write about a whole lot of nonsense while I'm still learning. Now all I'm just saying is like I don't want to do that now, being a young comic, saying controversial things and you know.
I think that's smart. I think a lot of young comics want to be controversial.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I was a bit like that. I was like, I want to be fucking edgy. I'm going to be edgy. And you're just making life hard for yourself, to be honest. Because, like, I wasn't experienced enough to handle the material I was trying to do.
Yeah.
And so I was just bombing. And I was, like, stubborn enough that I was like, I'm going to fucking keep doing this until you like it. And really now I'm like, I should have just left that alone for a little bit and then gone back to it like 6 months later and it would have been fine. But I was like, no, I'm going to push through. This handjob joke is worth it.
Handjob joke. I feel like women can get away with saying a lot on the stage. And I've been seeing it. Women comics generally get away with saying a lot.
You think so?
Yes. Like when we say certain dirty things, people are like, you know?
That's so funny.
When
feel
woman
like
is like, like, ooh. She's
that's
so
new then.
I've seen it now a lot. Like,
that's really
just
interesting.
an observation.
Yeah, well, I mean, when I started, that wasn't the way it was at all, you know? Like, if you're talking about sex and you're a woman, often people, like, label you as, like, a dirty comic, and all male comics that I know have, like, a porn joke, and, like, none of them get called dirty comics.
Okay. Do you have a porn joke, Dex?
I don't have one joke, but
I have about 6.
I don't have a porn
Which is fine. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying they didn't get labeled as like a dirty comic, a sex comic.
But I think,
but that's interesting.
I think in terms of like, especially, I mean, where you started 5 years ago, in terms of where the female talent was in comedy and where it is now, I feel like the ladies at the top have brought it a long way away from that, you know, if you make one dick joke, you're a filthy comedian. Like, especially like someone like Amy Schumer or Nikki Glaser and those type of ladies. Like, they help you explore those more intimate topics without being labeled as this kind of comedian.
Yeah. I think it's gotten a little bit better in terms of that. But you do have to be careful. Like, I can't do certain material up front. I have to do it like 7 minutes into my set, because the audience gets to like, ooh, about it. But I don't know if it's sometimes I can feel like it's because I'm a woman. Sometimes it feels like that. And sometimes it just feels like a conservative audience.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, Cape Town is full of that.
Conservative people. I thought it was all just beach guys. Bruh, sorry.
Yeah, those dudes love hearing women with opinions.
What's
what's
life like in Cape Town?
It's cuck,
what do
Dylan.
you get up to?
Thanks, it's cuck. Cape Town is shit. That's Katie's fucking immigrating because it's a shithole. And not if you live in Cape Town, I'm talking to you. Leave. It's cuck. Come live in Joburg. Even go to PE. PE is better than Cape Town, and PE
God, that's
sucks.
wild side. We'll stop there.
Like, what is this based
Cape Town is generally just such a cuck place.
Why do you hate it?
Because they think they're cool because they have some fucking water. They think they're cool because they have water, and so, but they can't even drink it. They have a drought, and there's an ocean right there, and it doesn't make sense.
Anymore.
Yeah.
There was. I don't understand. But anyway, if you're from Cape Town, I don't like you. Except you, Mario. Please give me a spot.
And Mia, who's here right now.
And Katie, you cool as well. Give me a spot. Anyway, sorry.
No, you know what? Okay, I will give you this. Joburgers are much friendlier than Cape Townians. Cape Townians are not friendly. People in Joburg are much nicer than people in Cape Town.
Maybe do you wait? Sorry.
Okay,
go for it. It has to do with like your race.
I don't know. I've never thought about it like that. I've just experienced.
I've got a different
maybe it
view.
is a bit like that because, like, generally white people in Cape Town are very cliquey and like not super friendly and kind of stick to their own thing. Maybe it is like that. What do you think? Yeah.
No, I'm asking because I feel differently about people from Cape Town.
Oh
and
yeah.
People from
Really?
Yeah. I'm not from Joburg.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm from the Eastern Cape. I've been to Cape Town once.
Okay.
People there are much more friendlier than like people are not friendly in Joburg.
Do you know what the thing is for me? Is like if you're in Joburg and people are like, let's go for lunch or like let's meet up, let's hang out. They mean it. And in Cape Town, people will be like, oh yeah, we should hang out sometime, and you'll never see them again.
Okay, but that's the other thing I wanted to point out about Cape Town. That's not even them being rude. They're so fucking lazy in Cape Town. True. Cape Town doesn't have same-day delivery from Takealot. You have to wait 7 working days if you want shit in Cape Town.
That is true.
Uber Eats takes 3.5 hours in Cape Town. It's a terrible shithole, and I hope Cape Town wins independence. Wow. I hope they win independence so they don't have to be a part of my beautiful country anymore. Wow. Cape Town and the Northern Cape can go. Send the Northern Cape to Namibia and send Cape Town into the ocean.
Cape Town is gonna move you.
They must try. I'm starting beef with Cape Town now. Because I've had enough.
Cape Town, bruh.
I've had enough of
You
Cape
don't
Town.
know Cape Town,
Classic
bruh.
Joburg versus Cape Town. It's
Joburg,
everyone.
we would moor Cape Town.
Yeah,
I would moor everyone in Constantia and Camps Bay.
definitely.
Those fancy fuckers in their Ferraris. I'll moor you all.
Listen,
Not
I
a
just want to
chance.
say this. I am not with Jason. Please, I don't know him. He's not my friend.
That
mean,
Cape Town
if you
rant.
come for him.
You're gonna
That-
get cancelled by the whole of Cape Town.
They can bring it.
No, Cape Townians don't care. I think Cape Townians don't care if you say that because they're like, Cape Townians love Cape Town so much.
They're only going to
They're
see
not
this
gonna-
podcast in 6 years' time when they learn what the fucking internet is. Cape Town, if you're watching this in 2026, this was proudly brought to you by Thirsty Water. But listen here, I fucking had it with you guys, okay? Heart full of Cape Town and thinking you're better than everyone.
How many times have you been there?
So many times, and I don't know why I keep going back.
I blame your parents.
Don't blame my parents, blame Cape Town for being a shithole. Okay, I'm
Stay
sorry.
in Cape Town, okay?
Okay, I'm over it. Okay, Cape Town, I'd like to apologize.
I love Joburg.
Joburg is lekker.
I love Joburg and I love Cape Town. I can love both.
Nah. That's like saying you love Coke and you love Pepsi.
Yeah, you can.
You can't.
I think it's possible.
I doubt it. Sorry, I'm very riled
Very
up.
passionate about this.
I'm so passionate because Cape Town's.
Jeez, Jace, is this your issue?
Yeah, Cape Town. Cape Town's what wakes me up in the morning. I want to become president so I can just extradite Cape Town from this country. JK, love you, Cape Town. No.
Cape Town.
Yeah, it's fun. And I've got, you know what's sad is I've got family there and they're going to see this and they're going to think, he's talking about us. I love you guys. Please come back from Cape Town. Please
Would you
leave.
say this on a stage in Cape Town?
Yes, I would because it's a shit place.
I would love to be there.
Come, Mario, let's hook this up. Mario's going to give me a one-man show. I'm going to do an hour
I
just
don't know.
On why you hate Cape
on
Town.
why I hate Cape Town. And I'm going to come with such elaborate points that everyone who was born in Cape Town is just going to walk into the ocean and never come back.
Do you hate the people or the place?
Everything about it. Their fucking mountain that they think is so cool. It's a mountain. We have mountains here.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do. Go to Art and Beersport. We've also got a cable car. Wow.
So much hate.
So much,
So
bro.
much
I
passion.
can't. They think they're cool, but they're not.
That's why you're a good rugby player.
I just feel
Level of
I just
intensity.
feel the only hate I got against Cape Town is that it's far. Cape
Yeah.
Town is beautiful. I
So-
hate that it's so far. So
Place.
that's the only sentiment I share with Jason. I'm just putting this out there. Cape Town, if you're coming for him.
Tomorrow on Twitter, trending Cape Town cancels Jason. I'm going to feed from it, guys. Oh, okay.
I want to hear more
think of
about the
that.
beautiful Cape Town. Please
I
tell
mean,
us.
Okay,
I
sorry,
don't
bro.
know. It's parts of it are nice. It's nice if you. It's not a nice city to be broken. But actually, you know what? It's a better city to be broken than Joburg because there's
Joburg
free
is
stuff you can do
expensive.
in Cape Town.
There's also free stuff you can do, yeah?
Like what?
Looting.
That's a good one.
Yeah?
That's a good
Come
one.
on, that was a great setup.
That's a good one.
No,
Yeah, I didn't think
I
I
agree.
didn't realize what I was doing there.
yeah, you just, yeah.
I just set you right
But it is that, like, Joburg is expensive.
Yeah,
compared to
it
Cape
is.
Town.
So is Cape Town. I feel like rent in Joburg is cheaper than Cape Town rent because I did live here for a little bit.
But not like in the ghetto. Do you go to the ghetto in Cape Town? Let me ask you that. Do you go to the ghetto?
I go everywhere for gigs. So
Only
if
for
there's gigs,
so you
then
don't go
yeah.
hang out there. You don't.
Not really.
Why? Because you don't have friends there.
Yeah, Cape Town's pretty like area segregated. Like if you grew up in the southern suburbs, it's pretty likely that all your friends are going to be from the 3 suburbs around. That is a thing that I think is worth hating about Cape Town.
Yeah,
is
you see,
Cape Town's pretty
even Cape Town
segregated.
people hate Cape Town.
No.
Muizenberg, Camps Bay, Constantia can all
No,
go. Chapman's Peak is cock. You think you're cool because you have a bicycle race there once a year? Sorry,
No.
I'm back.
Cool.
I just keep seeing
think
red.
it's like, I know. I think it's like pretty. Like if you go to high school with these people, you'll probably just be friends with these people.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. That is why I left for like uni and why I came here for a bit, and because I was just like, I don't want to live in this little Cape Town bubble.
Where did you go to uni?
At Rhodes.
So you just went from one cuck place to another cuck place.
Hey, no.
Rhodes has one McDonald's and a BP garage.
They didn't have McDonald's when I was there.
He said a fucking BP garage. My uncle went to Rhodes and he told me, and it sounded so cool. He's like, yo, it was so lack. I was like, it looks terrible.
No, it's great if you do drama.
You're killing me with the skate.
Because it's also like you're young and you can like be safe and walk around by yourself and like get absolutely fucking trash wasted and then be fine. Go like up the road to where you live. So you get to like be young and stupid but in a safe
Because there's
environment.
one road.
Yes, I know.
It doesn't count.
It's a university town. It's fine.
So is Potchefstroom. That place is Stellenbosch is also cuck because it's in Cape Town. Got him. They thought I was going to compliment them. They thought they caught me off guard.
Oh my god.
Where did you go to university?
I didn't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, but I party in Potch.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the.
I've never been to Potch.
You should go to Potch.
I went there once to drop a car.
And
And like, there's nothing there.
There's also,
Yeah,
but
there's
it's
nothing.
Yes.
but the jewel there is next level.
No, the
Really?
name is longer than anything you will
Yeah.
experience there.
Potchefstroom.
Potchefstroom.
Have
But
you-
it's over now, the whole thing.
what does that mean?
Potchefstroom. I don't know. I'm not that Afrikaans.
It's probably his grandfather's Stroom. So he named
Potch
it.
of
Potchy.
Potchof. I don't know. That sounds like a game they used to play. Potchof. Like you get
But
two
I feel
oaks
like,
on a
why do
stoop.
I feel like your parents used to go to Potchefstroom?
Your
I just
bro,
get
no,
that vibe.
no. My parents are
Like it's where
very.
they partied.
My
They
parents.
probably met there and made you.
No, they
Potchefstroom.
met in Rustenburg, bro.
What? That's like similar.
It's similar, but not the
have you
same.
heard about Krugersdorp?
Yes, I watch Devil's Soul like everybody else.
Pow, 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 and it's still fucking better than Cape Town.
I can't be with you anymore. I was like kind of on your side a little bit, but I've lost it now.
She was on my side.
Personally,
watched
I haven't watched this documentary.
It's so wild.
But-
It is so it's batshit. You have to watch it.
What did you take away from it?
I was like, fucking Krugersdorp is insane.
Don't trust ladies with comb overs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the one thing I took away is like if a tunny with a comb over asks you to do something, you
But
say
you
no.
now have a
Sometimes you
conversation.
must judge a book by its cover.
If you look
That's
like
what
a
I
dodgy
learned.
shithead, don't.
Yeah.
And if someone's got two surnames for a first name and a surname, don't trust them.
Like Van der Merwe.
Yeah, pretty much. Or Botha van der Merwe. What was that lighty's name?
Also,
Van der
Like-
Merwe.
No, his name
That one
was
better.
Van Sale Stein or something.
yeah.
The lighty's first name was like Van Sale. Imagine, bro.
Yes.
His parents groomed him to be a serial killer.
That
bro.
was so hectic. The parents like forced these kids into being killers, which is like so fucked up.
Did
This
they end
mom
up
is-
liking it? Like,
The one did.
No,
I think actually both
both
of
of
them
them.
did it.
Yeah, both of them testified against them eventually.
Yeah.
But the one waited too long, so she testified in court right at the end, and
so
she still
rough.
got like 400 years in jail.
They all got like multiple, like hundreds of years.
But it's fine. They're Satanists. They'll live through it. That was the goal. Wasn't
so
that?
Satanists don't get it.
No, they
That's
aren't.
what
They
you
were
said.
like all fighting Satanism. That was like the whole thing they were pretending to do. Was like fight Satanism. I don't know. It's very
So is it one
confusing.
person who
Yeah,
started
no, it
this
was-
whole thing?
Yes, one person basically starts like a cult.
Cecilia,
Yeah.
with the lady with the comb over.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then she starts this like cult, and then they start doing like murders and shit, often for like life insurance and whatever. And it's all over like a series of years, and they're like super brutal, and it's very organized. And there's like a teacher who's doing this, like fucking primary school teacher who has like ammunition in her classroom. It's batshit. Honestly, it didn't make me stoked to go to Krugersdorp. I'll say that.
I was just gonna ask, would you go to a place like Krugersdorp
But
after
no-
watching that?
I mean, now I'm like, surely statistically, Krugersdorp is like the safest place you could go
Because we've
because they've
killed
had
them, right?
that.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
but here's the thing with Devil's Dorp, especially, is like it's become so weird now because now everyone in Krugersdorp thinks they're famous.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's such a small cuck town. It's not cucker than Cape Town, but it's pretty shit. Now everyone's trying to link like how they know the people. They play like
sure.
Devil's Dop Roulette.
Oh, I know 3 of them.
Yeah, I know
I
3
heard that's in your
victims.
jokes.
Yeah, bro, but it's true. It's like, I knew 3 victims, and one guy even told
So
me.
they name dropping.
Yeah, they named. One guy even told me, my dad's neighbor. His parents were divorced. His dad's neighbor was in Cecilia's flat to do a quote for industrial cleaning. Now, how is that for name dropping? My dad's neighbor did industrial cleaning, and therefore you should respect me because I know a Satanist.
That's so.
So that's the vibe in Krugersdorp.
That's the vibe, yeah, that and
Oh
lots
my
of fights.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
So are you guys now scared you're like gonna tour each other also? Like, is there no witchcraft involved? There's no witchcraft.
I think we've gotten rid of all the witchcraft.
I don't know. There were like all those police officers there who were like, I hate the occult. The occult is the worst. Here is my giant collection of occultic items that I keep.
My favorite guy in that whole series was the forensic investigator from Discovery. When they're trying, they're trying to claim for this guy's life insurance. They try to fake this guy's death. So they wanted to claim life insurance anyway. The first sentence out of this guy's mouth is, as soon as I met Cecilia, I could tell she wasn't an extremely intelligent person.
Yeah.
I was like, but if I could ever meet that man, there's 2 people in my life I want to meet. It's that guy and the head coach for Cape Town City.
Yeah.
Coach Eric, because I want him to adopt me. Okay, and I need to get him out of Cape
But
Town.
he's from Cape Town.
No, he's not from, but I need to get him out of Cape Town. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But those are 2 people I need to meet.
I'm
Yeah,
calling
that
Cape Town.
forensic
After this, I'm
investigator
calling Cape Town.
Funny.
I'm calling Cape Town.
I'm going to vote for Action SA. Herman
But,
Mashaba.
okay, you see, talking about this Krugersdorp thing, right?
Yes.
Just now, while you all were talking, I'm thinking, like, how long did this thing happen over? How long?
Years.
How many years?
And then there was like a break, and then there was like
was-
another couple of years.
It was over
And how many people died? How many people
Years.
died?
Sure, like a lot.
14
Like,
people.
14 people.
Yeah, 12 or 14 people. Fact check me on that, but I
That
think
was-
it was.
no,
Yeah,
it was
over
a lot.
14
It was
people.
ridiculous.
But there's a whole documentary series.
But
You
it's
know,
just
like-
because it was so crazy. It was like Charles Manson level cult stuff. It was because it was like culty
Maybe for
and
me,
weird.
it's just not that scary. Like, maybe, like, I grew up hard, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
More
I
than
don't
15
know.
people die in the ghetto all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you.
Now you're like, ooh, Krugersdorp.
I think it was just because it also seems like this tiny small town that like nothing weird would happen in, and this like absolutely fucked up shit happened there.
Yeah, no. All I'm maybe this is what I should say with my chest. Like, maybe they must give the ghetto a documentary series. You
Yeah.
understand?
Oh,
Yeah.
Why don't they? Like, I also don't like how the news says things strategically to hide what is really going on there.
Yeah.
Because the people here think outside the ghetto is all right. In the meantime, we know what's happening there. It's a lot
Right.
worse than what they're saying in the news, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've even got a name for it.
What?
Raised by the Cassie.
Raised by the cousin.
Raised by the Cassie.
So, are you going to shoot this documentary?
I'll shoot a documentary.
Yeah.
I'll direct it. As long as we're not going to the Cassie in Cape Town. We come to one of our local Cassies. Then we find a lighty. And then what we do is, I don't know how we're going to age this thing, bro. We're going to find people in different walks of life, okay? From like lighty to like old guys. But then we're going to find 2 old guys.
Who's going to find this?
Me, I don't know. We'll go look.
How are you involving
Guys,
me now?
fuck. It's just the pitch idea. We'll sort out the details later. Okay. Okay.
It's helping you practice for your pets.
So then we're gonna find 2 older guys. One guy who like went into the bad side of the Cassie, like gangs and shit. And then a guy who went into the good side. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm very white at this point, so I'm trying my best to try and
It's okay. This is usually who's making these documentaries.
yeah, exactly.
This is usually the amount of information they have.
Who's
So
that?
don't-
Raised by the Cassie, filmed by Jason van der Merwe.
Raised by the cousin. Don't laugh. This thing might actually happen.
No, it's gonna happen. I'm
Stranger
laughing about
things
the
happen.
idea of it. Raised by the Cassie, filmed by Jason van der Merwe.
No, but like, you know, I'm fighting for the wood here.
Mm.
That's a dangerous place, man. I can tell you, I'm scared to walk around well. Huh? You know, I always feel the need that I need to protect myself with something.
Oh, copy.
You know, I doubt you have that feeling in Krugersdorp.
Oh fuck, bro, Krugersdorp is scary, dog. No, you don't understand. What we have in Krugersdorp is like there's a big socio-economic divide in Krugersdorp. So there's
poor
people,
ones and
between poor and rich. So there's a big middle class vein in Krugersdorp, but then we have something like Featherbrook Estate, where it's the safest estate in Southern Africa. Houses range there 10, 15 million rand.
Yeah.
And then you've got O's living in place like Krugersdorp West, where if you walk around there long enough, you'll pick up a meth addiction from the air. So, I mean, it's like, no disrespect, Krugersdorp Vessies, you got my guys, bro. But
you're scared of them.
I'm scared of Vessies.
Not scared of Cape Townians.
You're scared of
The
them.
fuck Cape Townians, bro. Like I said, they're lazy. Vessies, bro, they'll fuck you up. But that's if I'm in Featherbrook Estate, bro, I'll walk around, I'll have my earphones in. If I'm in the bad side of Krugersdorp, I'll lock my phone in my car. I won't take my wallet with me.
Yeah.
That shit. I might even not try and Uber there if I can. If the Uber will take me, but I don't want to leave my car there. So I mean, there's a big social, and I think in a lot of like, especially these smaller towns, there is that big socio-economic divide. Like in Cape Town, I mean, you've got fucking Constantia and Camps Bay, and then you've got the Cape Flats, which I mean is.
But that's a product of,
Yeah, Cape Town being a shithole. Well, and what you were saying,
I've never met someone who hated Cape Town this much.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I'm not even offended. It's just like gotten ridiculous.
Isn't it interesting? Like, isn't it weird for you to see?
You know what's sad
really.
is
Cape Town, man.
I mean, there's like lots of shitty things about it. I don't
so
really.
many.
I'm not like a nationalist. I'm not like tied. I'm not gonna die for my city. Like, I don't care if you don't.
And if
mind
you
it.
are, die for a better city than fucking Cape Town. Proudly brought you by Thirsty Water.
I'm not gonna defend Cape Town or Joburg. I don't really.
No, Joburg.
I mean, everywhere has like good things and bad things.
Well, but Cape Town has a lot more bad things. So many, like Constantia moms.
But you guys have like Santon moms.
Yeah, but they're not as bad as Constantia moms.
What are Constantia moms and Santon?
Constantia moms are like
I don't know these things, guys.
Constantia's like the Santon of Cape Town.
Yeah.
So like it's those really.
What are those moms though?
You know, like the Karens. Oh my God! I can't believe they don't have 1% milk. I'm going to kill myself now because of you.
You know what? I thought this is just a thing people do on stage. I've never seen it with my own eyes. Maybe
people.
it's because I shop at ShopRite. You won't find a Karen there.
No, you won't.
Yeah, you won't.
Go
Not
to
Constantia mom.
Go to Woolies.
I need
bro.
to get a better job.
just sit in Woolies for a day. Like, I don't know, like say you're applying for a job or something, and just sit in Woolies for a day and check how many of these white bitches go in there and complain.
Okay.
Not, you know what I'm talking about. I'm very heated right now
Because of Cape Town.
because of fucking Cape. I hate it.
Oh, okay. You should have stayed in
Sorry.
Cape Town.
I
So on
know.
social media,
Unexpected.
where can people get in touch with you? Social media.
Yes, I'm at Kate Pinchuck. That's KatePinchuck. No one can spell it, so I have to spell it out.
I don't even want to say it.
No one can
I've
say
seen
it.
it on social media.
No one
I
can
didn't
say
even
it. I
understand.
get introduced with a different name at every comedy show I do, so don't even worry.
Okay.
I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok.
Repeat the surname.
Yeah, Pinchuck. But yeah, you can find me there. You can find me on, I don't know what of the comedy specials I've done are still on Showmax. On Women on Funny, they're fucking hilarious on Showmax. And Tully's Baby Diary also.
Okay. Thank you, man, for joining.
And
Thanks,
Cape Town.
guys. I didn't expect to have my city abused.
And Cape Town, you can find me on Twitter at jvancomedy.
Wow.
And Instagram at jcboy. Direct your hate mail there.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so Cape Town, you won't do it because you're lazy.
Because you're all shit.
I love you, Cape Town. Lekker fish and chips. So thank you, man, Kate, for joining us once
Thank you,
again.
guys.
Thank you,
It's fun
Jason,
to meet you.
for slandering Cape Town.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you.
I'm Dex, and you guys are amazing for tuning in. Catch us next
Thanks
time.
for
The
watching.
Funnyness Podcast.